a combination of families one was attached to.
Is that why there's not much in recorded history about disciplinary problems with the children?
Sure, you can't have a disciplinary problem when all adults is over the juvenile. An adult doesn't necessarily mean 21 as against 2 or 3. Adult could be 3 as against 5, 3-year-old as against 5. It means that you bound to respect the older person than yourself. So that if a family had 10 children, the first child would be the one relating directly to the family. From that first child on, that child will be then carrying down the order, and very rarely the mother or father has to do any of the disciplining. The first child becomes the senior child, right? And therefore the law go down. Now from that child, let's say that the first child now becomes 40, and the parents are in their late 50s, early 60s, and that first child gets married. The authority of these parents still go down to that child and to the husband, on both sides.
And it was this kind of continuity that was the basis of the great civilization that came out of our experience in Africa.
Yes, that is what was destroyed with the coming of the European and the Asian, that they destroyed, so that the decentralization of the African family and the strength of the African culture that we see now destroyed so much that in Africa we see them imitating everything, and here and the Caribbeans and elsewhere started to be destroyed at that point.
And it is at that point that we ought to stop. And when we come back after this break, Professor John Henrik Clarke will pick up about that destruction process. Stay with us. Invaders or outsiders who came into Africa, were they slavers?
No, we're talking about Europe specifically right now.
Mm-hmm.
What we have to deal with is a little-known invasion of Africa by the Greeks, and that is the intellectual invasion by Greek scholars, 450 BC by Herodotus. And this invasion was a compliment, because Herodotus was a great reporter, and he traveled extensively within Egypt, down to what is now Ethiopia, and along the coast of what is now East Africa. Egypt, Kush, these nations had been invaded by one Asian after another for